So we're here today with Steve Smith. One of
Glad to be here.
Canada's biggest steel guitar players. Steve is going to play a tune for us now
Okay.
as an introduction
Yeah.
to the interview, and that tune will be
Well, you want Desperado? Do you want?
Desperado.
Well, I'll see if I can, yeah,
Yeah, that's a tune you did on the
on the Northern Steel
Northern
album.
Steel album.
Yeah. Yeah.
So here's Steve with Desperado. So we're here today with Steve Smith, one of Canada's premier steel guitar players.
Well,
Steve,
thank you.
say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for that introduction. It's very good.
Well,
You're very flattering.
you've been around for 500 years, I understand.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Pretty close, yeah.
You're like Hank Snow. You've been everywhere, man.
Yeah, I've been everywhere, done everything. I started probably in 1962 playing.
Okay. That's what I wanted to do, take you back to the wee beginnings to start with.
Yeah, my dad, when we lived in Trenton, my dad, he had a carving steel guitar he got from Fullerton, California. He sent away for it and waited months for it to get it. And then that's what I learned on, was that guitar. It was a 6-string. No, it was an 8-string, I'm sorry. It was an 8-string guitar. And
just a lap steel, that's it.
yeah, well, he had legs on it. The 3 legs went on it, you know. And he he taught me to start. He bought my brother all the picks and bar and everything. Was going to teach him. Is that rain?
Rain.
You want to stop for a while?
It's okay.
So my brother was going to take it up, and then I got interested in it. And I kept playing it when it was in the case, take it out of the case and play it. Then I go down the basement. I stay down there for 10 hours a day learning to play. And then my dad was in the Canadian Air Force, and we were transferred to Germany. So I went over there, and my dad had a country band over there called the Western Rainbows. And they played all the American bases, all Canadian bases over in Germany. And I was about 15, I guess, at that time. So my dad was playing steel with the band, and then we went to Stuttgart, Germany, and I bought my first pedal steel, which was a Fender 400, 4-pedal steel. That was pretty wild. I loved it.
Yeah.
And I took to that like duck to water, right? So
like a hen in a June bug.
Yeah, I practiced a lot. And 10 hours a day down the basement.
Oh, yeah. So just to cut you off for a minute, the earliest time that you started playing steel, how old were you then?
I was probably 12.
12, okay.
Yeah.
You don't mind me talking about ages?
No.
Okay.
So we went to Germany in 1959. I was 15 over there when I started playing in my dad's band.
Mm-hmm.
I took over the steel chair there. I don't think he was too happy about that. He ended up playing bass. I was playing stand-up bass with the band, right?
Okay.
My dad played steel, and then everybody said, well, get him on steel, right?
Yeah.
So I started playing steel in the band, my dad's band over in Germany, right? And then we got transferred back to Canada, and that's when I met Tom Brumley. My dad, I never met him, but...
You met Tom Brumley?
Yeah. My dad had him come over to the house and play for a whole afternoon, right?
Oh, my.
In Germany, right? When he was in Germany.
And that was with his Fender?
Fender 1000, yeah.
Okay.
He played all afternoon. My dad's, but I wasn't there. I missed it.
Oh.
I got there after he left, right? So.
You were out running around with the girls?
Yeah, with my motorcycle, yeah.
Oh.
So, and then when we came back to Canada, it was Jack Calhoun was in the American Army over there. And he took my place on steel when we came back to Canada, my dad's band, right? Because it continued on.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I got back to Canada, I played on the road for maybe 2 or 3 years.
With your Fender 400? With your Fender 400?
Yeah, and then the next guitar I got was a Falaka, one of Eddie's guitars, my very first steel, pedal steel.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went on the road in Canada, and I was playing with Bill French and Shirley Fields. I played with them. I played all over Ontario with them, right? And then I got a call from Florida. The fella that took my place in my dad's band.
Yeah.
They were twin brothers, Jack and Jerry Calhoun.
Yeah.
And they said, we're going over to Europe. We're doing a tour over there. Would you like to go? I said, sure. I'd be glad to, right? He said, we're coming back. We're going to play the Grand Ole Opry when we get back, right? From the tour.
Okay.
So I went to Kennedy Airport. They had me take the steel out and set it up in the bathroom at Kennedy Airport. Make sure I could play good enough. Sure enough, I got the job.
And how long had you been playing then?
Oh, that's probably 60, 65 when...
Okay, so you've been playing for 3 years.
Well, more than that, like from 61 till...
65.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I got the call. That was in 66. I got the call to go over to Germany to play, so I went over and did that tour with them. And when I come back, I was going to go down to Florida with them, but Shot Jackson from Showbug Guitars was kind of managing the twin brothers, right? They had a couple of records out on, and I recorded with them. I did a couple of songs with them in Nashville, right? Mm-hmm. With, what's his name there? Did Roy Orbison. He was a producer for Fred was his first name.
Fred Rose?
No. He produced Roy Orbison, no. Fred Foster.
Fred Foster.
Fred Foster, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So I recorded with them at Fred Foster's studio, and I went in the studio, and first session I ever did in my life, Jerry Reed was on it, Charlie McCoy, Peg Robbins,
Yeah, totally.
and DJ Fontana. He played drums for Elvis, you know, in the movies, all those.
He played drums for Elvis.
Yeah.
Oh.
He was.
So you got right into the thick of things right off the bat.
So Window Music was Pete Drake's publishing company, right?
Yeah.
So we went over to Pete's place, and this is where all these guys, that's where we did the sessions, right? And so.
Did you learn any seal playing from Pete Drake?
No, but he wanted me to go and do his demos that he couldn't do, right? He was too busy at the time, right?
Oh, I see.
He said, you want to do some demos for me? So I went back to Florida. I think I went back to Florida with the guys. So anyway, in '66, when we got back from the tour, I played the Grand Ole Opry with them because Shot Jackson got them on the Opry, right?
Okay.
So after I got done playing at the Opry, this guy walks up the front of the stage and he's looking at me, and I said, he wants to talk to me, right?
Right.
So I went down and said, "Oh," and he says, "Yeah." He says, "My name's Merle Haggard. Would you like to go to California?" Honest to God. I said, "Merle who? Who's Merle Haggard?" Right?
Yeah, right.
This was like October '66. So right after that, he broke, right, with Swinging Doors, and he had all those songs, right? And I never took the job.
Oh, okay.
I went to Florida and I played down there till 1968.
Uh-huh.
And then I come back from Florida in '68. I did some more road work, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I played with Honey West, and
so you were well ensconced in the States before you came back to Canada.
yeah.
And
So I did an instrumental on their album, the Calhoun's album, and it was Beautiful Dreamer. The Jordanaires were singing background on for me.
who?
The Jordanaires, Elvis's backup singers.
Oh, wow.
And DJ Fallon was playing drums, his drummer.
Yeah.
So I recorded that. I did that in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
Then I come back and I played till about 1975.
Okay.
And then I got the Ronnie Prophet television show.
Yeah. So we were back in Canada now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
So I started doing the Ronnie. I got
Ronnie Prophet. That was the super guitar player.
Grand Ole Country. It was his TV.
Grand
Was
Ole
on
Country.
CTV, right?
Yeah.
It was on. Well, I think we were on for about 8 years.
Yeah.
Pretty close to
He
that.
passed away just recently.
Yeah, he passed away from Alzheimer's, actually.
Oh.
And so I did that. And then Ray Griff.
Ray Griff, yeah.
I did his television show.
He was a writer too, right?
Yeah, he wrote "Step Aside." You know that country hit?
Step Aside.
Step aside if you da 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 da. Ray wrote that. Yeah. So I did his television show for a year, and then I did the Tim Daniels television show. That was on Global. And then I did Funny Farm. It was on CBC. I was doing 4 TV shows at once.
Did you feel like you belonged there?
Well, yeah, for sure.
Just
I was doing the job.
Just a bad joke from me.
Yeah, I was doing the job, but yeah, it was.
I want to home in on one artist. He might not be known all over the world.
Mhm.
Tommy Hunter. He was, London's favorite singer, right?
Yeah, he has a street named after
He
him
was a
there.
big name here because he
Yeah.
recorded and had his own TV show on CBC.
Yeah, and
And you're the one that went on the road with Tommy Hunter.
yes, and
How
I did,
many years?
and I did
Let's talk about
18 years.
18 years.
I was with him for 18 years. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
doing his road work. Right, every January we go out. Right,
Yeah.
right after New Year's, we go out west or down east. We go down east one year, and then we go out west the next year. We were in Nunavik, and you name it.
Yeah.
Nunavik in January. Have you ever been there? It's cold.
A little chilly.
It's a little. They got the street signs are all. They drive on the rivers with their cars because the rivers are frozen. That becomes the roads in the winter, right?
Okay.
Yeah, they got stop signs out in the river and everything for the cars, right? Pretty wild. And then I did all of BC with Tommy, all of the East Coast.
How many tours did you do with Tommy Hunter in a year, say?
Usually did one
One tour, and how many stops then? How many?
When we first started, we were doing 32 dates.
Oh.
32 dates, one after another. I was on 21 flights in 23 days. We didn't even go into the terminal. We just went from one airplane to the other one, and away we went, right? Yeah. So we did all of BC, all of Alberta, Saskatchewan, Regina. We played there quite a bit.
Yeah. So Tommy became a huge name in Canadian country music.
Oh yeah, he's Canada's country gentleman. That was his.
And I'm sure it's nice for you to think about the fact that you were all part of this.
Yeah, yeah. And before I worked with Tommy, I worked with Carol Baker for 8 years.
Okay.
I played in her band for 8 years.
Carol's another
an
big
icon.
artist in Canada. Yeah.
And then Tommy was doing the tours, so I did the tours with Tommy. For 18 years, I did that. Every year. I did 2 specials with him, television specials on CBC. His 2 specials, I did that. Bob Lucia actually played on the TV show, right?
Yeah. Bob Lucia is another big steel player in Canada.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Bob did all the TV work, but I did all the road work with Tommy, right?
Yeah.
When he toured.
Right.
Yeah, I did all that.
So he stayed home all the time, and you had to go on the road.
Go on the road.
Yeah. You consider yourself a road warrior as
yes,
as opposed to
I put in lots of time on the road.
Yeah.
I used to tour with Ronnie Prophet too. He did tours down east and
must
west.
be tiring.
Well, it can be, yeah.
Airplane to the other.
Oh yeah. Well, I think Tommy was on the board of directors of Canadian Airlines at the time.
Oh, was he?
So I think we got our flights for next to nothing because he was on the board of directors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cheap enough flight so he could maintain his boat and everything.
Of course, yeah. He's shippy. He feels a little shippy. He had his boat up in Midland.
Midland, okay.
Yeah, near Penetang.
Yeah.
That's where he kept his boat. He lived up there.
Oh.
And then he moved just near Guelph there. What's that place just north of the 401 there? I'm trying to think of the place where he lived.
Oh. Guelph, north of the 401.
Yeah.
Not in Guelph.
No, just north of, before Guelph.
Ingersoll?
No.
Sorry, Kitchener-Waterloo area? Or?
No, right just north of Guelph, right on the Highway 6.
Oh.
Up old Highway 6. I can't think of the name of the town there.
Anyway.
That's where he lived.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that was quite a history you had with Tommy Hunter.
Oh, yeah. I played everywhere with him. And Newvik was quite the place, though.
As far as practicing goes, well, first of all, from what I understand so far, you didn't have anybody teach you steel guitar.
Well, my dad taught me, the basics, right?
Yeah.
But my dad didn't play pedals or anything.
Right.
I bought him a pedal steel and he never played it, so.
Oh, okay.
Bob Lucia did a Maverick up for him, right?
Oh, okay.
And put the knee pedals and everything on it. It was a nice guitar. But somebody up when I was at Purple Hill said he bought that guitar.
Who did?
Some guy in Purple Hill said he bought that guitar that I had made, Bob Lucia made for my dad.
It rang a bell with me, if you don't mind me telling. Mal
Coin.
He had one of those that were doctored up.
Yeah, maybe it was him. Because I saw him at Purple Hill.
Yeah.
And he said,
white-haired fella.
He says, I have your dad's guitar.
There you go.
He said, if you want it back, I'll sell it back to you, right? So I should have bought it.
I think he sold it. I think he sold it again.
Yeah.
But I fixed it up after Bob Lucia had.
Yeah, it had the
just more or less, adjusting things. And
yeah.
It was solid as a rock, eh?
Yeah, Bobby did it. Bobby did a lot of work on it.
Yeah. Anyway, back to you. You're the star here. So if we talked enough about Tommy Hunter, after Tommy, what did you do? Carol Baker, right?
Carol Baker.
Yeah.
And then I kind of freelanced after that, doing festivals. And I've done quite a few festivals.
How do you enjoy freelancing anyway?
It was good, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But we had a band called Whiskey River back in the day. We were doing Prophet. Uh-huh. Mel Coyne was in the band, my brother Greg Smith. Okay. Larry Brennan played drums. And it was a good band, really good band.
Sounds like you are a musical family for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, my brother played. My sisters don't play anything, but my dad played. My mom doesn't play. So she didn't play anyway. So, yeah. recording sessions.
Yeah.
Lots of recording sessions with people. I did one with Jimmy Webb. He's the one that wrote all Glenn Campbell's hits.
Oh, yeah.
Wichita Lineman and
Oh, wow.
and
Really?
yeah, all of. By the time I get to
So-
Phoenix, I played on his album, right?
He sang songs that he'd written himself then?
Yeah, oh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Good singer? I never heard the guy.
Fantastic, great piano player.
Okay.
It's called 10 Easy Pieces if you want to look it up on the internet.
10 Easy Pieces?
Yeah, Jimmy Webb. And I'm
I've
playing
heard
on
that
it.
one before.
Yeah.
Isn't that a movie?
I don't know, maybe. It might have been.
10 Easy Pieces. Anyway.
But anyway, he wrote all Glenn Campbell's hits, like Galveston, all those.
Yeah, yeah.
Wichita Lineman.
Yeah. By the
And I
time
played
got
on
to
it.
Phoenix?
Yeah, I played on that, on the album,
Did you?
on his album.
Uh-huh.
And he gives me credit for it, too. He says,
Oh, wow.
what he's called, some performer that they get to do. It was kind of nice the way they said it, right? That I played on some cuts on the song.
So how do you communicate music with Jimmy Webb? I understand he's a big writer, music writer, and everything.
I just got a call to do a session in Toronto.
Yeah, but he plays by notes, right?
Yeah, but I just did my. You play what you play. That's how I did on his album, right? And,
You read notes?
No, I read chord charts. I can read chord charts. That's what
Yeah.
I'm not a good reader at all.
You're what they call the Nashville shorthand, are you?
Yeah, that's the number system, right?
Number system.
Yeah, it's just a scale, and they number the scale, right? Mm-hmm. And they do that. They do that because if somebody's doing the session and they change the key,
Yeah.
one is always your home key, whatever you change it to.
Yeah.
1, 4, 5. That's like
Yeah.
if you're an A, that's A, D, and E. 1,
Right.
4, 5, and 2 is a B, right?
Yeah.
So if you change the key to C, 1 is C,
Yeah.
and 2 is D, right?
Yeah.
So that's why they do that.
But for you to remember all that on the neck of the guitar, that's not easy always.
Well, chording's not too bad. Chord charts.
Okay.
That's what I do when I do festivals. I just do chord charts for people, right? So I know what I'm doing because we don't get any rehearsal.
Right.
They send you the music, right? You have to actually go out and find the music, their music,
Oh, yeah.
and you write it all down. And then when
They
you go
don't
to
even send you a CD of their music?
no, you have to go find it.
You'd think that's kind of chintzy, considering.
Well,
the
from
job
now
you're doing
on, like I run the Norwood Jamboree, and the what's the other one I do? We just started doing it this year, and we're going to have everybody send us MP3s of their music, right?
Okay.
Because people send you music. Let's say I'm doing a Charlie Pride song, but it's not by Charlie Pride. You know, and then they get there and they say, well, is this Charlie? No, it's by so-and-so. So now we're going to get them to send us the MP3s of the people that they're doing the song by, so we know what to do, right? A lot of times we get caught like that. So there's different versions of the same song, right? You got to know the one they're doing, because we don't get to rehearse them. We just go on stage and do it, you know?
So this is a lot of stuff you gotta learn it on the fly.
Yeah. Well, we did, the last festival I did was Belleville. Hollywood, it's called Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
It's 250 songs we had to learn.
Okay. Wow.
And I had to write all the songs down.
Oh, boy.
And no rehearsal. You just go and do it, right?
Uh-huh.
That's how you do it. You have the chord charts, how the song goes, and you just...
And you had to know
And if I
the
have...
tempo and you had
Yeah, if I have to know
song
the
off.
introduction, I learn the introduction. I learned the introduction myself, right, of the song, and then I follow the chord chart. And you got to know where you're supposed to play, because the guitar player is playing someplace else. You can't stomp on his toes, so you have to write where he's playing and where you're playing on the chord chart, right?
Right.
So it's pretty involved.
Oh,
It's about 3 weeks' work before you get to even do the job, right?
Just give me an example. Say there's a song there that you do the intro, and you do the break, and you want to sit down and learn that to be as close as possible.
I try and learn it
How
note
long
for
does it
note.
take you to learn?
Some of them are easier than others.
You sit with it for an hour? Or less?
I have, but sometimes it's less. Sometimes I can pick it up pretty quick.
Okay.
A lot of times it's Paul Franklin that's doing the record, so I have to copy him.
Yeah. Does that take you long?
Well, Eddie Rabbit, you heard that on Second Thought?
Yeah.
You ever heard that song?
Yeah.
That's Paul Franklin, so I had to learn that.
Oh boy.
That solo.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get the drift now.
Yeah. So that was, Tommy White said that when he was doing Nashville Now, Eddie Rabbit was on, and he had to do Second Thought, and he was sweating it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a big steel solo on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember the break, yeah.
Yeah, I learned it.
I never learned it, but I remember it from
Yeah.
hearing it.
Yeah, I learned it. And you have to do that. Like Tommy says, I make a living out of copying people's, records, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take us to the now. Now is mostly
Festivals, I do.
festivals,
Yeah.
freelancing.
Freelancing, yeah.
Yeah.
But I do mostly festivals. Because I'm
Like bars anymore, you know?
No.
No.
I'm 79 and I'm past that, right?
Yeah, okay.
I'm 79 years old. The festival, they're enough, right?
Yeah.
I got enough of those to do, so
You've paid your dues,
I certainly
to
have.
put it musically.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Been over to Europe twice playing. In France, Germany.
Still have some hearing left?
Oh yeah, yeah. But Tommy was never his music. We were on in-ears with his music, right? You just put the headphones on.
Yeah.
You don't use your amp.
Okay.
You use like a little preamp,
Yeah.
and that's what you hear, right? You hear the rest of the band in the headphones.
Uh-huh.
And you can turn them up or down. They have like it's called a more me. So you can turn the guitar up more, or turn Tommy's voice up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a very interesting career.